Hi everybody, welcome to WakeUpToLife.tv with Kelsey
and Karen. Today's show we're going to be talking about relationships. Now we know there are many dimensions involving relationships. So specifically we're going to be focusing on the ending of a relationship and how we can move through when a relationship breaks up. And trusting in our own sense of judgment and the knowingness that when a door closes, one opens up in our life.
Definitely there's a few places people can be when they're ending a relationship. One can be the one that they are the one that are ending it, and they're actually in a different place than say someone who is not ready to let go and all of a sudden realizes they're in love with someone and the relationship is ended.
Yeah.
And so there are many different places one person can be. And so the first thing would be to get, where am I? Like, where am I at? And, to love somebody and then get that they're gone is just like grieving a death, really. It's like, where do you take all of this emotion, this love that you have, and have to just hold it, and what do you do with it? Like, it can be a really, really painful process.
And I want to share from my own experience, because I am going through a relationship breakup at the moment. And it's a mutual decision, a choice for both of us in honoring each other's journey. And again, as Kelsey mentioned too, there's a grieving process that takes place. So I'm just allowing my emotions to show up when they surface. I just allow myself to cry, allow myself to just feel. Because really, I've held on to a world that I've created in my own mind of what my future would look like with my partner. And of course, when the relationship ends, that world pops. It's like a bubble popping, and that world does not exist anymore. So now I'm in the unknown. And so it's moving through all of those emotions and the attachments that we have to that partner and honoring ourselves and loving ourselves through it.
And that world that gets created in the future, and having that disappear, that can be a place where we create suffering. Because we're just no one really likes to deal with an unknown future. And yet the reality is we all actually have an unknown future. But the way we designed as humans, we like to forward think, we like to create and manifest in the future so that that's something we're living into. And when that gets taken away or unexpectedly ripped off or whatever you want to call it, that can be a really a place where people can just create suffering and not really deal with the what's so. Like, the reality of this moment is that future is ended, and then it's really the process of grieving it and then creating something new, something new that you can live into that will gain the inspiration back and get you back on your feet.
Yes. And I believe that when we're in relationship, we are always learning about ourselves, and we're learning more about who we are and who we're not. And as we evolve in a relationship, if that partner does not want to grow with you and move into the worlds that you feel are great for you and beneficial in your life, then of course that relationship will end eventually. And then it's allowing for that space to be and really focusing on the fact that you don't need to blame your partner. You don't need to blame anyone outside of you. That there is a spiritual essence within you that is saying, you know what, this is meant to be at this time, and to just trust and move through it with as much grace as you can. Okay?
Yeah, and it's interesting as we're speaking, this topic is about relationships, but really the bigger message here can be transmuted into many different areas. If you've lost a job, or any loss in general, you had a fire and you lost your possessions, like, it is a process of loss that we need to go through and honor in every step of the way. And the whole grieving process, right? The anger, the denial, like, all of that is really what we're dealing with here. And it's an incredible process. And when you deal with it, it's just honoring yourself throughout the whole process. Just really getting that, like Karen said, just tapping into what's going on for you in this moment. A lot of the suffering gets created when we don't want what's going on right now to be what it is. So we just can't deal with the reality that creates the suffering. So the profound shift happens when we really get clear, okay, I'm so angry right now, or I'm so sad, or oh my God, I love them so much. And that actually gets declared. Now you're in a different space to actually move on.
That's so true, isn't it?
It is.
When we're in resistance to what is occurring in our life in the moment, go, oh no, I don't want this, I don't like it.
It's got to be a different way, and if I talk to you for 2 hours, maybe it might change, you know, the drama. We create significance and drama just to really, you know, outwardly tell the universe, I don't like the way it is right now, and it's like, you know what? You know, it's just, that's what's going on, and as tough as it is, it's just, that's just part of the process that you've chosen to create to have you go through this and evolve.
And just knowing that you're going to be okay on the other side of what you're going through right now. And trust that, you know, when one door closes, right, that another door does open. Oh, yeah. And there's so much joy in this world, and maybe in a relationship, if we don't have the joy that we know is in our heart, we're not experiencing it, or we're not allowing it to come forth, maybe, you know, we need to let go in order to create space for that joy to come into our life.
Absolutely. And one of my favorite quotes is just, "This too shall pass."
Yes,
you know? And
I love that.
Isn't it amazing? And it's quite interesting because I often I'll be in the midst of something and I'll just be like, "This too shall pass." I'm like, really? Really? It will? You know, because I get that moment where we're in the suffering and we're creating what we don't want and all that we're dealing with. And really getting that, wow, you mean this will end one moment? And that actually gives me freedom to go, okay, we can then fully go into this because there will be another moment. There'll be a phone call of great news. There'll be a great email. Like something always will come around. It always does. So, yes, that's the parting words.
And one last thing I would like to say is that when you are ending a relationship and you're in your own space now, take the time to just be with yourself, to nurture yourself. Don't go looking for somebody to fill that space right away.
Yeah.
Really, because you don't want to be in the rebound. You don't want to be looking for someone of need or desperation just to overcome your fear of loneliness. Really allow yourself to just be and surround yourself with really great friends.
Yeah, I want to add one more thing around that too. This came up for me is when we deal with the loss, right? Sometimes it may validate some insecurities that we have around ourselves. So we've made up many stories about ourselves that are not very good, like I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, those kinds of things. And sometimes breakups or loss can actually validate, or we create this validation that it's like, oh, see, I'm not lovable. And the filling of the void, the going on the rebound, is all it is filling the ego. The ego is going, what? You mean I'm not lovable? That can't be. I gotta prove myself wrong and go out and get the next one. When actually sitting with yourself and actually dealing with it, then there's a new reality that can be created, because it's like, wait. I do love myself, or you start to see evidence that you are lovable that you never would have seen otherwise. So there's great spiritual lessons in every place we look. So.
Definitely. And of course, the more you love yourself, the more love you're going to attract out there.
Yes,
okay?
Exactly.
So until next week, we wish you all the best, and just, allow yourself to stay open to life lessons, and you're letting go of who you're not. You're letting go of all the dark energies, the thoughts that we have that don't serve us, and just keep moving forward in your life. You're doing fantastic, and we're here to support you.
Yes. Namaste.
Namaste.